Good morning and welcome. I'm Hallie Bourne. I'll be your teacher today. And I'd like to invite you into a practice of slowness, of power, and of centering to really access your deeper wisdom, the place of quiet and stillness that so many of us, when we're in our heads, running around trying to solve problems and get things done, we can miss this voice of stillness, wisdom, presence that will tell us just what to do next and help us to allow this moment to unfold with all the potential magic that's there. So today I'd like to invite you into a practice to support the hips, the knees, and the back. So a lot of lower body work. And here is a place where we can feel grounded and centered. So on that note, let's begin with the centering. Allow your eyes to close or find a place to just soften and fix your gaze so you're not taking in energy from the outside world. And have this sense that you're dropping out of your head and down into your body. Hello, I'm Hallie Bourne. I'd like to invite you into a practice of centering, slowness, and power today. Power that comes from the inside, power that doesn't come from the mind or even from action, but instead from paying attention, directing focus, being present, quiet, receptive, and still. So on that note, we're going to work in the body today, focused on the hips, the knees, and the low back, helping us to feel really solid in our seat and in our feet. Allowing your eyes to close to come into a centering to begin our practice today of yoga and meditation. Allowing your eyes to close or finding a place to rest your gaze where you're not taking in input from the external world. Begin to slow and deepen your breath. Be willing in this moment to let go, allowing all the focus in the head with the thinking, problem solving, emotional jangling, to just pour down into your body. You can notice what else is here besides the thoughts. Bring your awareness down to your feet. Move them in any way, making adjustments to become more comfortable, more stable here in this introductory pose, our easy sitting pose. And then feel right into your sit bones. Do they feel even? If you just kind of move around, rock forward and back, side to side. Where does center find you? Find your tailbone and think about just extending your tailbone downward into the earth like a taproot. And your tailbone is the base of your spine. So now feel up through the spine. And as you're feeling up through the spine, imagine you're being zipped up here, helping you to extend upward out of your waist. all the way to the base of your head. So you feel your head now supported by your neck, by your spine. And the top of your head, the soft spot you had when you were a baby, that is your crown. Allow your crown to rise upward. Bring your awareness now into your shoulders, drop them down away from your ears, and contract them slightly between your shoulder blades to help you relax your shoulders and open your chest. Feel into your jaw, let your jaw be relaxed. Softening through your face. Softening now throughout your body as your breath becomes more deliberate, maintaining this perhaps not so easy sitting pose now. Anchored, alive, and aware. As you breathe in through your nose. As you breathe out, also breathe out through your nose. Using a 3-part breath, which draws in the breath in a diaphragmatic way. So we get the diaphragm itself moving. This is your primary breathing muscle. Breathe down into your belly and let it rise into the ribs, into the chest. And slowly release your breath from your chest, down through the ribs, down through the belly. Taking your time, feeling into those areas. Continue breathing in this deliberate way, and we're going to slowly begin to move through the head. So next time you are exhaling, allow your chin to bow down towards your chest. Inhale, lift your chin. Exhale, bow your head. Keeping the body really active. So you're not just hanging out in your spine or your hips or your back. You're supported, you're lifted up out of the waist, right from the pelvic floor. Isolating all the movement into the head and the neck. So aim to create a bit of stretch in the neck, in the throat. Good, one more time. Bring your chin now level with the mat, with the floor, and just go right into a side bend with the neck. Inhaling from one ear to one shoulder to the other side. And you can always close your eyes here when you're feeling really secure in the movement, you feel like you know what's happening. You can close your eyes to really go inside and feel the effects of the movement. Good. Just kind of dealing with any tension you've got in your neck so we don't need to be distracted by it. Perfect. Bring your hands to your sides. Let's inhale, just lift the shoulders, squeeze them up towards your ears, and exhale, press down. And keep the head level with the floor. Good. Couple more times. Nice. Now take your hands out in front of you, interlace your fingers, press the palms away as you tuck the shoulders back and down. Let's inhale, take your arms all the way up overhead. Keep the ribs in, the belly gently in, and keep the shoulders down away from your ears. Good. Seated side bend here. Deep breath in. As you exhale, reach up and over to the left. Keep that right sit bone down and keep the right side of your body rolling back. Yes. Inhale, come center, go over to the right. Imagine you're sliding your body against a wall here. So you're not rotating side to side, which is usually the tendency. Staying really anchored on both sit bones as you go side to side. So as you go here to the right, you're going to feel that left sit bone try to pop up. Keep it pressed down. Same thing here. Right sit bone's going to pop up. Good. So we're just kind of waving the spine side to side here. This helps to release the waist and the low back. It's also great for the shoulders. Good. We're going to do just one more set. Wonderful. Come back to the center, release your arms down. Let's roll the shoulders back a few times. And take it forward. Good. So we've been sitting here for a while with the knees bent. Let's straighten out those knees. Let's get the inner thighs stretching this morning. So you'll see I'm on a blanket. The blanket is folded. It's about this thick. And I'm coming to the front edge of it. This will help your hips roll forward so you can get a straighter back here in this wide angled forward fold. So here we're going to start just by moving the torso. So legs are wide and you're just kind of anchored through the legs, through the bum, and just circling side to side with the back relatively flat. The breath is slow and deep. Again, you can always close your eyes. It can help you really feel into the body. The body is always talking to us, but do we know how to interpret what it's saying? Spend time inside to find out. Let's go the other way. And you might hear my breath occasionally. This is a slow, deep 3-part breath, no matter what you're doing here in this practice, that you're always moving in sync with the breath. Feeling your movement. You might feel as you come forward and to the sides that you're getting some opening in the inner thighs. Good. Come back to the center. Let's just rock side to side a few times. Work in the waist, work in the obliques. That's it. Good. Now we're going to reach to the right. If your arms and your legs happen to be the same length, you can easily grab the toe. If that is not happening for you, that's where a beautiful yoga strap comes in, where you can take the strap around the foot and hold this way. Yeah. So here, we're going to rotate the body towards the right. If you're using a strap, you still got that anchoring. You're going to flex through both of the feet, lift up out of the waist, take the right arm up and reach across towards your left. So we're going to inhale to rise up. Navel is lifting towards the heart. Exhale to reach across. The whole time, you're keeping your body rotated towards your right leg. Yes. Stay really lifted. This is going to help build core as well as stretch through the obliques on that right side waist. Couple more times here, and we'll come into a hold. Okay, here we go. Reaching across, keep lifting out of the way. So belly is really active here. You can use the strap or this hold on the toe to help you kind of rotate yourself a little bit more towards your right. Let's take 2 breaths here. Drop the left shoulder. Lift up out of the waist now through the right fingertips. Come all the way up. Good. We'll go right to the other side, either with the fingers holding the toes or bring your strap to that side. Come right on top of the sit bones. Good. Now you're going to rotate your body towards the left leg this time. Left arm comes all the way up. Good. Exhaling, reaching across to the right now with the body staying rotated towards the left. Not an easy thing to do, but it has great results. Each time you inhale, you're rising up with control, helping the side waist get long and strong. Couple more times and then we'll hold. Here we go. Stay lifted up out of the waist. Enjoy that stretch wherever you're feeling it. Good, one more breath. And then inhale, lift up through the left fingertips, come all the way up. Nice. Now you're gonna let your legs roll out to the sides. Legs are going to become passive. We're gonna do a wide angled forward fold. This is gonna help to stretch through the inner thighs. Now for a lot of people, they tend to just kind of round forward in this. I'm gonna invite you to keep your back really flat and long here. So tailbone is anchored, belly is lifted. You're just gonna start to inch yourself forward, keeping the shoulders back. They tend to round forward here, and keeping the heart lifted and the head up. And let's just go as far as we can right now until you get a nice stretch. I like to call that the sweet spot. And then begin to slow and deepen your breath. This is a great time to close your eyes, go inside. And you can actually use your breath and your attention as a way to help tightness release. So for instance, right now I'm really feeling it deep inside the inner thighs. And so I let my attention go right into that intensity. I look for places where I can engage and relax. And then I just allow the breath to flow right into that area. I can feel that happening. Good, let's take just a few more breaths here. Really breathing into any place of tightness or restriction. Maybe let go just a little bit more before we come out. Wonderful. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift up through the belly, come with a flat back. Crown is rising, always lifting you up. Good, hands behind you. Let's slide the legs together. We'll just rock them side to side a few times. And then let's come to sit in easy sitting pose with the opposite leg in front. So probably you went to what felt natural last time. So if it feels awkward, you've probably got it. All right, so just a seated twist pose, really working the spine. This is great for the low back too. So let's take the right hand, bring it behind you, and let it kind of prop you up. So see how my chest just lifted there. And then take your left hand to your right knee, sit up nice and tall, and then think about drawing that taproot down again so that you feel this lift right here through the lower belly. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale and just twist to the right. Stay easy and gentle. Each time you exhale, imagine yourself relaxing and releasing deeper into the pose rather than pushing. Let's take one more breath here. Slowly unwind. Let's float right on over to the other side. So left hand is propping you up. Right shoulder is down. Anchor the tail. Lift through the belly. Deep breath in. Exhale, twisting now to the left. And it can be tempting to let all the twisting happen in the neck. Let it go all the way down to the base of your spine. Really feel into that movement. Each exhalation helps you release into the pose more deeply. Good. Take a deep breath. Exhale, slowly unwind. We're going to come off the blanket now. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what my back is doing in this. So we're going to do something called adapted heron pose. I'm going to start on this side. This leg, you're just going to fold the leg in until the foot is kind of in front of the groin. Make sure this is okay on the knee. If it doesn't feel so good on the knee, you can just take the leg forward. Can you see that? Yeah. All right. So reaching under, moving the flesh aside, you can get right on top of your sit bones. Bring both hands under the right knee, shoulders back and down, lift up out of the waist. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lean back, extend through the right leg. Good. So now we're going to work the foot and the leg. So this is about the knee, the core, the low back. Deep breath in. Exhale, pointing the toes. Inhale to flex the toes as you straighten the knee. All the while you're working to stay upright without creating any tension. That's it. A few more times. Keep lifting the belly up towards the waist. That will help you stay upright. Good, here we go. Stay right here. Let's just circle the foot on the ankle a few times. Let's go the other way. Good. And then flex the foot, take the leg as high as you can, coming up a little taller. Let's take 3 deep breaths, holding here. Good. Take a deep breath, exhale, let that go. Let's rub the knee if we need to. Let's go to the other side. Coming right on top of the sit bones. This time you're going to fold your left leg in. Coming onto the right side, reach under, move the flesh aside, come right on top of the sit bones, both hands under that left leg. Good, deep breath in, lean back. Let's inhale this time, straightening, and exhale to point. Keep the chest lifted. Belly lifting towards the heart, shoulders slightly contracted to help you avoid any shoulder tension. A few more times here. Okay, let's keep the leg out now, rolling the foot on the ankle. Other way. Good, and then flex your foot. Let's lift the leg a little bit higher. Come right on top of the sit bones a little bit more. Let's take 3 deep breaths here, holding, breathing. Good, let's exhale, come all the way down. Yeah, and just relax the legs. Let's come onto all fours now. And I'm gonna take a water break. You feel welcome to do that too in this short transition. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is just a circling of the low back. If your knees are sensitive, you can always take a blanket, open it up like this, and come right on top of it, okay? I've got 3 mats here, so I'm good. All right, hands come wider than shoulder width with the fingers spread out wide, wide hands. Thumbs point towards one another, middle fingers are straight forward. This helps you really engage through the hands and keep your wrists safe. So here, we're just gonna start to circle the hips around. Keeping the belly gently into the back. Okay, let's reverse the direction. Very nice, good. Let's work the hips very directly, working the joints. So bring the knees just a little closer to each other. Take the right knee and then just start to circle it around. Keep the back relatively flat, belly into the back. If this gets hard on your wrists, you can come on top of the hands here onto the knuckles, or you can even come all the way down onto your forearms if you wanted. Yeah. Let's go the other way now, circling that knee. Perfect. And then having warmed up that joint, nice and well, let's take the right knee up towards the right thumb. The left leg is going to slide all the way back. This is a resting pigeon pose we're coming into. Take the right heel and scooch it over until the right heel is in front of your left thigh. I'm going to turn around so you can see that. Here, so heel right in front of the hip. Front knee is pointed straight forward out of the hip joint. Yeah, this leg, the one facing you, is coming right out of the hip as well. So you can take a look back and see, extended straight forward. Take a deep breath in, exhale, come all the way down to the floor. You can stay here on the forearms if you'd like. The deeper you go, the more stretch you'll get in the hip joint of the bent knee. So coming all the way down would look like this. It's a great way to open the hip. We're going to be here about 5 breaths in whatever position you've decided to keep, either up or all the way down. I'm going to stay up just so I don't check out here because it's so relaxing. Feel right into that right hip joint. And again, experiment with sending your breath to places of intensity where you're encouraging your body to relax and let go. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then rising up, set your hands under your shoulders, tuck the back toes, lift up and slide that right knee back. Bring both knees here onto all fours. We're now going to take the left knee out and circle it, keeping the back relatively flat, belly into the back. Okay, nice. Let's go the other way. Okay, let's come into our resting pigeon pose on this side. So left knee comes up towards the thumb. Actually, that's going to be, I'm not sure what leg we're on at this point. So the other side, let's do the other side. This knee is straight forward and coming down as far as you'd like to go to help that hip relax. Maybe looking back, making sure that extended leg behind you is straight, coming right out of the front of the hip. And then let's stay here for about 5 deep breaths. Okay, let's get ready to transition. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the hands under your shoulders, rising up. Let's tuck these right toes under, whichever the back toes are. Deep breath in and exhale, come right into a plank. Good. Then bring the knees down. I'm going to scoot up a little bit here. Maybe you need to do the same. Really set the hands. So again, your jazz hands, shoulders are stacked on top of the wrist joints, belly is into the back. Let's tuck the toes, lift up, and exhale. Press back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. So here we're really working the core, arm strength, leg strength, whole body. One more time. And then we're going to walk the feet forward, come into a standing forward fold. Bring the weight right on top of your feet. Fingers, if you're bringing them to the floor, can kind of hook in and help you get length in the spine. Lifting the heart, bringing a stretch to perhaps the backs of the legs. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Good. Then I'd like you to softly bend your knees, bring your hands to the thighs, rise all the way up to standing. Good. Then we're going to do some work with chair pose. This is great for the back, or sorry, these are thighs, the thighs, the hips, the butt, and the back. Yeah. All right, so some chair pose. So let the butt start sticking out. Now, most of us, when we do this, we tend to really curve the low back and relax the belly forward. What I'd like you to do is to draw the belly in and flatten this curve a bit. Yeah. And then see if you can sit down, really working on that curve, and keep the knees on top of the ankles. So rather than letting the knees go way forward, hyperextending them, see if you can really keep the knees above, lift your toes, drop the tail, yes. And then let's take both arms next to the ears, chair pose. So we're gonna come in and out of this, look straight forward, really drop the tail. Inhale to rise up, exhale to lower back down with a lot of awareness. Inhale to rise up, exhale, lower back down. Let's do a few more. Okay, last one, and then we're gonna hold it a bit. There you go. Drop the shoulders, tail down, belly in, ribs in. Yes, let's take 2 more breaths. Good. Inhale, rise all the way up, and then come onto your tippy toes. So we come into a balance or a rising mountain pose. Here, I'll back up. I'm just lifting up through those heels, shoulders dropped, belly in, 2 more breaths. Good. Deep breath in, exhale, slowly lower down. Nice job. Take the feet a little bit wider than hip width, toes turned out. And we're just going to circle the hips. This is great for the back and the hips and the knees. And good for your attitude. Let's go the other way. Good. And then just kind of switch the hips side to side, switch and swish. Okay, we're going to do something called intense side stretch pose. This is great for extending the hamstrings, which can really pull on the butt, which then affects the low back. So let's do that. I like to use a block for this if you have one. Let's bring a block here. Feet are going to be hip width apart and parallel. You're going to step back with the left leg. Good. We start in a lunge here. Again, just like we did in that chair pose, draw the tail down, really lift through the belly. And then let's straighten the front knee, hinge forward, grab the block, bring it right beneath your nose. For a lot of us, we tend to lift one hip or the other. See if you can really square the hips with the floor. So for most of us, that means we're going to drop this other hip down. And then let yourself Extend through the crown, through the tailbone. And so you're pulling in these two opposite directions. Back foot is slightly turned out, really slightly, like 20 degrees. Hips are squared forward. You're looking forward, and hopefully you're feeling a nice stretch in one or both legs. I usually get it in both legs on this. Legs are hip width apart, if I didn't say that before. So not on a tightrope, if that makes sense. Let's hold here for 2, 3 more breaths. Okay, excellent. From here, we're going to come into stargazer pose, which is a really great leg strengthener, which in turn will help with your back and your core. So from here, let's just bend the knee. Take your arms out to the sides like you're about to take flight. Rise up with a flat back. And then straighten the front knee again. Fold your arms behind you into Yoga Mudra arms. Palms come together, shoulders back and down, straighten through the arms. Good, see how the chest kind of pops up there? Hips are still squared forward, drop the tail, lift the belly, and then without collapsing the back at all, begin to extend your heart up towards the sky. Keep the belly lifted, it's easy to just let it hang there. See if you can keep it lifted. And let's hold for 2 breaths now. Nice, with a lot of power through the legs and the core. Rise up. Let's release the arms out to the sides again, lifting up. Deep breath in. Exhale, step forward. Let's come to the other side. With the block, intense side stretch pose. So come right in front of your block. We're going to step back with this leg here. Deep breath in. Exhale, step straight back. Legs hip width apart. That back foot is slightly turned out. Good. Straighten through the front knee, tail down, belly is lifted, hinge forward. Bring the block right under your nose if you're looking down. And you're just touching the block to give you a little bit of an anchor, a little purchase. Drop the hips so they're level with the floor. Look forward, reach out through the crown, out through the tail. Belly is lifted into the back. And then find the places of stretch and send your breath there. Two more breaths. Perfect. Now we'll transition into the stargazer. Let's begin by bending the front knee, arms out to the side so your legs have to come under you here. Yes, use your legs and your core. Flat back, rise up, arms all the way up. Good. And then straighten through the front knee. Let's take the arms behind the body, interlace the fingers, palms together. Keep the belly activated. We come into our stargazer. Deep breath. And then exhale without collapsing the back. Lift up through the heart. Keep the head stacked on your neck. In control. Let's take 2 breaths here. Nice job. Inhale, come all the way up. Release the arms, bend the knee, and step forward. Beautiful work. So let's come back down to the floor. Let's come onto a blanket. Unless it doesn't feel right for your hips, you can always abandon that. These are always just meant to be helpful for whatever's going on in your body. Okay, we're gonna work on more hip stuff here, really specific hip stuff and knee stuff because they're connected. So this is called double pigeon pose. Let's have you bend this leg, your left leg, out in front of you so the shin is parallel with the mat. You're gonna pick up this right leg, just kind of move it around a few times, open in the hip joint, and then take this foot and first of all, see if you can straighten it and move it across the body. So you get a bit of a stretch through here and do that a few times. If you can't quite hold the foot here because your arm isn't the same length as your leg, you can hold further up and get similar results. Yeah. Okay, now take this foot, bring it on top of the left knee. And so shins are stacking. You can move your seat around so that you can really stack up knees, shins, and feet. Now, for most of us who have tightness in our hips, the top knee is going to be kind of lifted up. So rather than strong arming it with the hand, your hand is a lot stronger than your hip joint. Just activate your hip itself and see if you can press that knee down a bit. Get nice and tall. Again, tail is rooted, belly is lifted, and then just start to inch yourself forward a little bit until you feel a stretch in one or both hips, outside of the legs. Make sure it's not hurting your knee. Oh, and I didn't say this before. If the foot is not quite working on the knee, you can always move the leg a little bit further down. So just work with what's going on in your body today. Good, so keeping the back flat, gently hinging forward, keeping that tailbone rooted so that you've got this lift up through the lower belly. And then you'll find that sweet spot where if you go any further, you're gonna cause yourself injury or pain. Don't go there. In fact, back off from that even more so that it's sweet, so that you can breathe, so that you can really relax. And let's be here about 5 breaths, really slow, in and out through your nose. Again, you can close your eyes to go inside. These seated static poses are really great for that. Notice those times when you're fighting, when there's resistance. That really is the true practice of yoga, is learning how to surrender, learning when it's appropriate to exert your will and when it's appropriate to let go. That's wisdom. Let's take a really deep breath in. And exhale with control, slowly rise up, lean back so this leg naturally lifts and extend it out in front of you. Let's take both legs and just windshield wiper them a bit here. Good, let's do the other side, yay. Okay, so this leg, like the other leg was, is parallel with the front of your mat. You're gonna take this leg, this foot in your right hand, and then just start to kind of move it around, straighten it out, work the knee, work the joint. I'm getting lots of good cracks today. Okay, let's take that leg, straighten it all the way out, move it across the body, see what kind of stretch you can get. Good, and then you're gonna bend the knee, bring the foot to the knee or anywhere along this line on the shin, stacking shins, knees, and feet to the best of your ability. All right, so you might also find if one hip is tighter than the other, which is really usual, that you'll kind of lean onto one sit bone. So just do your best to anchor through whichever one is lifting up, and accept that that's where it is. Be there with that. All right, again, we're not pressing down with the hand. You're activating from the hip joint directly. It's nice to just kind of take the hands out of it. Lift up out of the waist, anchor that taproot, and slowly hinge forward until you find a place where you're getting a nice stretch, one or both hips, where you can breathe and be kind and compassionate and sweet to yourself. Great time to close your eyes, go in and feel. Again, notice places of resistance and aim to surrender by slowing and deepening your breath. Little micro releases. Most of us are looking for bigger, better, faster, more. This can keep us from really noticing the subtleties of letting go, which is usually the foundation of the bigger let goes. Let's take one more breath here. And with control, slowly rise up out of the pose with a flat back. Let's release the leg. Take it all the way out, and let's just windshield wiper the legs. All right, so let's come onto our backs. We're gonna do 2 poses on the back, and then that will lead us right into our deep relaxation preceding meditation. So take a block with you. If you don't have one, it's okay. This is really nice for creating a place to press the inner thighs into to help build those. So anytime we're building the legs, we're also helping the back because the back gets supported by that. This is also a core and knee exercise. Bridge pose. So come onto your back with the block in between your thighs. Feet are right under the knees or slightly forward. Come all the way down. Yeah. Tuck the shoulder blades back and down so your back is flat on the floor. You can lift up your hips so you get the sacrum, that triangular bone in the low back, flat on the floor. Lift your toes, spread them out, and engage the soles of your feet into the mat. Inhale, lifting through the hips. Exhale, come back down. Let's do this several times. This really releases pressure on the front of the lumbar spine. Keep going. Work towards refinements with the alignment. Work towards smoothness with your movement. Let's do a few more. We'll come into a hold. And you don't have to get really, really high to get good results on this. Mostly this is about engagement of the legs and just the movement of the spine in another direction. Let's come all the way up, tuck those shoulder blades down, and interlace your fingers behind your back. If your shoulders won't quite go for this, you could have a strap under you that you would hold here. So coming right on top of the upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, and hands. Keep squeezing your block. Lift up out of the hips. Feet are engaged. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Holding with joy. And relax into the pose, even if you're working hard. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower down. Oh, yeah. And then take the block, set it aside, and let's windshield wiper the knees side to side. This is great for the low back. I probably do this one every day. All right, last pose before our deep relaxation. So we're going to take the knees in towards the body and then lift the feet up and grab wherever you can. If you'd like, you can take index finger to big toes. If that's not quite working, you can hold the ankles here and get really similar results. So whatever your body will allow. See if you can get the upper back flat on the floor. So you really want to tuck those shoulders back. And then you're just kind of pulling down a little bit so your thigh bones go right up into your hip sockets. This is going to help to release your low back. And then let the legs come a little bit wider so it becomes an inner thigh hamstring opener. And then we're helping all the muscles around the hip joints to relax. Let's stay here a little bit longer than we have in any of the other poses. Let's go for 10 deep breaths on this, okay? And I'll keep track of that. Closing your eyes, going inside, just letting gravity help to draw the knees down towards the floor. And breathing slow, deep, 3-part breaths. In and out through the nose. Noticing where you can let go. Wonderful. Preparing to come out, take a deep breath. Let's exhale, slowly bring the soles of your feet together. Drop the feet down just for a moment. Let's let the knees open out to the sides. One more hip opener here. Breath or two, and then we'll slowly slide the legs down, coming right into your corpse pose, your deep relaxation pose. It's something I really like to do for my back in this, is to take the blanket, fold it into a roll, and then bring it right under my knees. Even a little bit higher than the knees is really relaxing for the hips, legs, and back. So really taking care of your comfort level here. Getting the body aligned, putting a roll under your neck if you need it. And then settling in one more time, closing your eyes and letting them just kind of relax in their sockets. Sending the mind into the body. And notice where there might still be holding on or resistance or tension. And let your breath again flow to those areas to help them relax. Notice any tendency to fidget, to go right back into planning and problem solving in your mind. And instead, let yourself be here and receive the benefits of your practice through targeted relaxation. Just disengaging with the mind for the time being. The mind may continue to think, but for this moment, just disengage. Begin tracing the breath and feeling it flowing in and flowing out. Begin to deepen your breath. Take your time. We have plenty of time. Just take your time. And let your meditation begin now. Make this transition from your back meditative by going slowly, staying inside. Maybe you can begin here transitioning just by wiggling your fingers and your toes. Stretching through your body. Maybe hugging your knees in towards your chest and feeling your low back stretch one more time. And then let yourself just roll over to one side and stay really relaxed as you come up to sitting, and we'll set up for our meditation. So I really like sitting on a block, something a little more solid. Sometimes though, I like sitting on a blanket. You can come sit on the front edge of this. I'm going to sit on the block today. So if you've got low back, knees, and hip stuff, it can be a lot more comfortable to sit in hero's pose than is in that easy sitting pose. But really feel what feels best for you. This can help relax the hips and the low back a little bit more. So finding your posture, making sure it's as supported and comfortable as possible without it being soporific. So you really want to be able to stay alert and present, because of course that's what meditation is here to help us practice. So really coming into that seat, Sitting up nice and tall, and just let the head bow a little bit. This actually helps to reduce the amount of thoughts that are going to cycle through your mind. And then let your eyes close or find something to focus on. You can focus on the floor. You can have a burning candle flame in front of you. We just want to withdraw deliberately from the external world and go inside. And again, you can have this image of pouring your awareness out of your head and down into your body. See if you can occupy all the spaces within you, down to your fingertips, down to your seat, down to your legs and your feet. And then settle into a point of focus. It can be really nice to use your breath this way. Your breath is always coming, always going. It can help you start to track the comings and goings of your mind. And give you a place to return to. As the mind draws you out, you just come back to your breath. If any part of your body calls, pay attention to it. Make an adjustment without getting too involved in a story about it. And come back to the breath. The mind often gets drawn into places of worry and anxiety, fears about the future, or even about the present. For this moment, let yourself be safe and secure, grounded in the flow of your breath. Preparing now to return to activity and engagement with your world, no matter how small or large that is right now. And let yourself stay connected to this gentle flow of your breath, where all peace, all wisdom, and all direction resides. Drawing your palms together now at your heart, taking a moment to honor the essence that you carry with you everywhere. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for participating in this practice today and doing this for yourself. The more peaceful you can be, the more peaceful your world will be. And that ripples everywhere around all the people around you. Wars and unrest always start inside us. So if we can maintain that peace within, we can bring peace to the world. For in yogic teaching, you are the world.